Hello and welcome to another Load Up Crypto update. I think it's time to revisit the rainbow price chart indicator for Bitcoin. It continues to stay actually in the blue range, which is so-called fire sale range. So what does that mean? This chart is showing the logarithmic price chart of Bitcoin. So basically the black line here is the Bitcoin price. And then you have different bands on this chart. So this is sort of the lifetime chart of Bitcoin. You can see that it has moved around quite a bit throughout its history, but basically it stayed within the blue and the red band. So it stayed above the blue band, or above the lower support of the blue band and below the resistance of the red band. Only in the first two cycles it did go above the red band slightly in a very overheated market environment before the bubble did burst and we went into a bear market. This is sort of a long-term, just sort of sentiment indicator, which I like very much. Had you historically just bought sort of in the accumulate, buy, fire sale range and sold in the maximum bubble territory, sell, seriously sell, or FOMO intensifies bands, you would have made a lot of money, because it is, as it always is, generally the masses are doing things wrong. What you will find in reality is that most people will buy in the red range, or sort of in the, let's say, in the upper half of this rainbow chart indicator, and most people will sell in the lower half. So where you should normally buy in the lower area and sell in the sort of upper band area, most people do it wrong. Most people do it the other way around, because it's emotions, isn't it? It's all emotions. So, when FOMO gets higher, when FOMO intensifies, and by the way, there's actually this orange band, which is called FOMO intensifies. When that happens, zoom in a bit, then you will normally find that many people are going to jump in. Many people will buy, even though in my opinion, it's now the time to buy. Generally, I'm not telling you to buy. It's not financial advice here. I'm just saying what this indicator suggests, and that if you look at this chart, it just suggests that what most people do is wrong. Yeah, retail is often on the wrong side of sentiment, I would say, and I'm someone who tries to do things differently than, let's say, the masses. So I try to do things anti-cyclical, so not in line with the cycle, but sort of against it, which means that I really try to do what this indicator suggests. So I try to accumulate and buy in these current price ranges, and I try to sell, when we get sort of into the orange and red bits. Now, the way I normally do it, I'm not just gonna, sell everything when we get into the orange area. No, but I'm scaling out. So as soon as we get into sort of FOMO intensifies or seriously sell in those ranges, I would not buy anymore. Now is for me the time to buy. Of course, short-term trading is another thing that you can do, but I always try to see these things as decoupled. I think this is a chart that really helps you to trade the larger waves. Might even be suitable for hodlers. Yeah, because even a hodler, you don't really want to hodl all your life. You want to take some profits at some point, and you want to buy in a massive bear market. There's no point, let's say, buying at $10,000 a Bitcoin, right? And then you just lose out when it goes to 90K or something at some point, and it comes back to 20K or 10K. And, that's really, in my opinion, not really the point. So when you get into the very overheated market environment, it is really, for me, the time to sell and take profits. Now, that doesn't mean that the price couldn't go a bit higher, but to be honest, I'm happy with an 8x or a 6x or a 10x for Bitcoin. That's decent, and the market will always correct. We see that at the moment. So yeah, this chart really helps to deal with emotions, and it just shows you more from an objective point of view how sentiment shifts. Yeah, what we can see, and I find this very interesting, is that the spikes get smaller and smaller. The volatility seems to be reducing, because while in the first two cycles we did actually go break out of this band to the upside, this hasn't happened anymore. Yeah, last time in 2018, 2017, we only reached the top of the band, and again you can see how relevant it is. But then in 2021 we didn't really see that massive pump. So it was really flat. But yeah, this is a bit unusual. But it shows you as well, this indicator, how long you can actually stay in such a band. And here, for example, in the bear market, let's say 2015, 2016, I mean, for 2 years, you spent your time in the blue band. And it was time for people to accumulate just below a grand, basically, and then taking profits around whatever, 15 to 20K, right? So it's a really, really good indicator, in my opinion. And I think it's time to revisit step by step. So at the moment, we are here in the blue range, as you can see, quite comfortably in the fire sale range. Well, I have no idea what happens if we drop below it. I think they will have to adjust this indicator, this sort of algorithm, yeah. But at the moment, in my opinion, we are in a long-term accumulation phase. Now, again, this doesn't mean we couldn't drop any lower, but it means that at some point we should certainly reverse from here. Now, what is sort of the lowest, what's the lower band support level? It is here at around, let me just see, the lower band. I think it is, well, 17,000, isn't it? 17,500 roughly. So going below 17.5K would push actually the price out of the band to the downside, something which has never actually happened. So what that means is, if we go below the June low, yeah, it will push us outside of the band, outside of this rainbow chart indicator. And we'll see what happens then. But yeah, it's certainly interesting. And yeah, I think, we are in the fire sale range. What I personally do, I'm currently just dollar cost averaging, but lower quantities, just sort of here and there, a few dollars, maybe 50 here, 50 there, whenever I have a bit of spare cash. But I'm not really going in aggressively, and I'm certainly not spending all my cash at the moment on DCA, because I think we will see one more low. It's not guaranteed, of course, but I think we will. And if we do that, then I will go, let's say if we drop below the June low, I will go in a bit more aggressively. Should we not, and should we really see a bullish signal, I mean, even then I will wait for the next retracement and we'll go in then, right? This is not going to the moon in one go. But yeah, I'm currently waiting for a signal. There's no harm for me personally, in dollar cost averaging for the long term at the moment, but certainly leaving cash reserves for the next big move that certainly will come, because at the moment volatility has reduced, and yeah, it will be quite interesting to see what's going to happen here. This reminds me at the moment a little bit on this period here that you can see on the indicator here between February 2015 and July 2015, where also we had sort of just a sideways movement while the indicator was actually pushing higher. So we'll see what happens. That's my update about the rainbow chart indicator. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, yeah, then we'll see each other, of course, in the next video. Bye bye.